Hello, my name is Einar Jordan. I'm not a doctor, this is not medical advice, and I'm also not a dietitian. Today we're going to talk about SIBO, small intestine bacteria overgrowth. There's also SIFO, seems to be yeast related, and they seem, from what I have researched, to have either some type of intestinal issue associated with the microbiome not functioning correctly. So a lot of people that have irritable bowel syndrome or some other irritation of the bowel issues, they tend to have SIBO and SIFO, and some people have both, but it's really hard to detect one over the other. So I've been doing a lot of research trying to help out a friend that was having a really bad flare. And her case is probably a little more extreme than most people. So it seems that the bacteria migrates because you're just starving. Bacteria is just looking for food. And you already have dysbiosis, so you don't have the right bacteria that's processing the food, so your body is desperate for nutrients. So it starts going all kinds of places, the bacteria, and then that's making you sick. So a lot of people with SIBO or SIFO, they eat a lot, and it's called a wasting disease because you just don't get any nutrients in your body. And in her particular case, she could eat so much food, 4,000 calories, and she just still was hungry. So one of the advice that I found online and in research is, well, first, if you can do a fecal matter transplant, that will help. The second was fasting. 16-hour fasting, 24, 14 days fasting seemed to help even better than antibiotics. So in her particular case, we were talking, and I was scratching my head. I could not figure out what was the issue. And all of a sudden I asked her, how much water do you drink and when do you drink it? She's like, well, I don't drink a lot of water because it interferes with stomach acid. It dilutes it. And I just, light bulb went off. Because a lot of times we eat because we're thirsty. The human body doesn't know the difference between thirst and hunger. So a lot of times what I do personally, because I probably suffer from SIBO myself with all the conditions that I have, is just they come hand in hand. So the body doesn't know if you're thirsty or hungry. So if you drink a glass of, not a glass of water, if you drink water till you feel full, and you wait 15 minutes, your hunger will disappear. And she was telling me she was unable to fast, she was just hungry all the time. So this seems to be the solution to the problem. Fasting, and as I posted in another video, improving your dysbiosis. And there is a number of ways to do it. Some are slow, some are very fast, like doing a fecal matter transplant. And you should be very careful when you do this. Again, the donor could make you sick. There are things that are not detectable, and you should evaluate the donor on a personal level, and the mother is actually very. I'll try to do a longer video. I've done one in Spanish on how to evaluate donors, because I manage several tissue banks, and I developed donor suitability criteria. So it's something to help doctors, because it's a lot of information you can miss. You can miss a lot of things, and my list is not perfect, doesn't have every single thing. It's just far too much to add, but it gives you an idea of what to look for, because you're looking for a needle in a haystack. 99% of the population, 99% has dysbiosis, and a lot of times they don't show symptoms yet. But if you look at the mother and you see her health, you might have a big clue, because the mother may have already shown symptoms like diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, obesity, etc. Those are symptoms of dysbiosis. So back to SIBO, nutrition. So a lot of people are saying, well, you should do a ketogenic diet, and the reason that that helps is because ketogenic carnivore diets is because they're nutritionally dense. Vegetables are not nutritionally dense. Fruits are not nutritionally dense. How do I know this? Look at your poop. You don't see steak in your poop. You see reminiscences of vegetables. And that's why a lot of times we become diabetic because we eat sugar, you get like a quick spike, and then you're hungry again. When you eat meat, you're saturated. I don't make the rules. This is the way our system works. When you eat sugar, I mean, this is how we make alcohol. We take a bunch of fruit or sugar and we put yeast in it. And this is normally something that happens in the digestive system. You have a certain amount of yeast, that's normal, and they ferment and they create about a can of beer a day. When you have Sibo, IBS, and all of those other conditions, you have a microbrewery in your gut. You are fermenting a lot. And some people even feel high and wasted from the amount of alcohol that they're fermenting. This actually, there are studies in Japan. I don't in Japan that show this. I don't like linking a lot of studies because I want you to take control of your condition and become your own scientist and doctor and researcher. You should Google the hell out of this and not look at just pages that are trying to sell you products. Look at actual studies and compare. And don't believe anything unless hopefully you can test it on yourself if it's safe and prove yourself right and wrong. A lot of times people tell me, oh, I cannot eat meat, and I always ask them, why are you eating meat and carbohydrates? Yes. Well, what happens is that your body, like you, we're all lazy, tries to look the path of least resistance. And sugar can burn fast and create energy fast and make you happy and high. And then your meat stays there and rots. And that is the problem that happened to my friend. She eats a lot, the food rots. And you get a histamine spike, and I did a whole video about histamine. It's not moving through your gut. And when food gets older, the histamine starts increasing exponentially. And this is what really making you sick, and how hopefully you can treat it. There isn't a lot of information on videos on Sibo. I was just scratching my head. I could not find a lot of information. A lot of it seemed to be wrong, and just basically one person doing it. I ate a lot of sugar and I got better from Sibo. It just doesn't sound right, scientifically or in any other way. So thank you very much. Please join my channel. I will continue to put videos and try to help people out with their health problems, especially gastrointestinal and in autoimmune diseases, and I'll try to talk as much as I can and research and find solutions and help you all with fecal matter transplants, etc. Have a great day. Thank you.